What's up, Insane Rhetoric? What's up, Insane Rhetoric? What's up? You know what it is. The world is upside down, and we're trying to make it something.
Good
I don't,
morning, y'all.
I don't know what we're trying to make it, but we're trying to make it something. What's good with it, sister? What's happening?
Well, like I was telling you, so if I provide this thing for you and I continue to provide, like I got a dance bag that is here waiting, they getting a different color
Mm-hmm.
because they put so much effort into it. I went on and was like, okay, no, they gonna be purple, but I really like pink. Okay, because they put so much effort into it,
Mm-hmm.
I ordered a pink one for them. Everybody else getting purple.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Like I'm providing all of these things for you. And this is what I feel about people in my life, especially women. This is why I think that I get along better with men than I do with women, is that typically, not all the time, sometimes you find a pussy man, but typically, yeah, I said it.
I ain't got no problem with it.
Typically, when I'm dealing with men, what I find is things are straightforward for the most part. There's not, in business, maybe in corporate America, there's some stuff going on sometimes, but
Mm-hmm.
in personal relationships with men, things are really straightforward. It is what it is. It is what I said it is. It okay. There's
Mm-hmm.
no underlying message. And if feelings are hurt with men, it typically is. So why you say that? That ain't what I mean. Let's like you. If there's a method or a way or for you to talk about whatever it is you disagreed about
Mm-hmm.
when
Mm-hmm.
it comes to men.
Yeah.
Okay, with women, it's a whole bunch of stabbing, verbal stabbing, doing stuff behind your back. And I'm trying to get this little girl to see that she's going down that path. Because if I provide for you someone who is closer to your age, who can because, okay, y'all, I got a specific student who is, who has the capability of really going far with dance. Like they really have that capability.
Yeah, she in that capability, the little girl has greatness. She
Yeah, it's all up inside of y'all.
she is great at her age already.
Like if, if y'all ever go to my social media, you can see it because there's a before and an after
Well,
video.
tell them what the social media is so they can go take a look at it.
Across the board is Mission Chasse. So you can Google it, Mission Chasse, and you see the website. Like the Facebook is the same, Mission Chasse. Instagram is the same. So y'all. When I have a new instructor who previously graduated from the Arts Academy here in Houston. And I did that because this little girl wants to go to the Arts Academy here in Houston. And so I was looking for a new teacher to teach a younger set of people. And, there's so many people out there that say they can teach dance, but they really can't. And so I went to this school and I asked if they would send out a blast to rising senior juniors and seniors, people who just graduating, people who are going to be seniors in the fall, if they would send out a blast that someone, an alum, was wanting to hire someone to teach what is called pre ballet, meaning Yeah, I know y'all like what? Okay. You got to teach them like the words and exactly how the step go. Like you got to spend a lot of time with them. When you
The
get to ballet,
fundamentals.
right? When you get to ballet, well, then there's intro. There's pre, there's intro, then there's ballet. Okay. But anyway, so I had two people respond. One, before we got to the interview, said, something else has happened this summer. I'm unable to take on this type of responsibility. I didn't ask why, I didn't care. But the other one, after the, like, first of all, let me tell you about the resume. This child has done so much in dance already. But what I liked about the resume was the awards in chemical engineering. Huh? From a dance school, y'all. Okay. Okay.
She got more outlets than normal. Shoot, like
She's
just
smart
because
as hell.
right, just because you do one thing don't mean you can't do something else.
Yeah, but okay. So then we get in the interview and you see immediately where we are very much alike. And you see immediately where we are very different. Okay. And I show her this before video of this girl that I want her to mentor. So she's going to teach some other chicks, but she's going to mentor this one. I tell her that's part of her job. Okay. Not to mention something else I'm trying to put in line for the company. And she says to me, when I go to college, I'm going to major in this so that when I get out of college, I can do this. And it's jaw dropping. It's jaw dropping because I'm like, okay, I could possibly have for once I get this in line, it might take me about 4 or 5 years to get it in line. But once I get this in line, I might possibly have the person who I could hire to teach that. Because we already lined up and thought. Okay.
Forward thinking.
But I bring her to class and immediately the hustle is there. The helpfulness is there. Everything is on. I'm even asking for a picture for the website and I'm getting it within 2.2 seconds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So the little girl that I want her to mentor she flocks to her, which is what I wanted. What not supposed to happen is you start talking stupid to me. Y'all, you ever heard the term gift of gab? Okay. Most of the time that's meant to be mean. That's meant to say, yeah, somebody talk too much. That's me. I don't care what y'all say. I know I got to give the gab.
If the talent gets you where you want to be, who cares?
What I have recently uncovered is that I should have stopped allowing people in my life to tell me I talk too much, because when I talk too much, really, it gets results. I don't care if it's because they just want me to shut up. I don't care. It gets results. So there have been certain things with relation to this little girl that because I had the gift of gab, certain things opened up for her specifically, which is what I need them to do so that I can get her where she wants to go. Okay. But she decided that she needed to speak to me rudely and be inappropriate with me. So I ain't gonna tell y'all what I did, but I spanked that booty, but not in a physical way. I did spank that booty, y'all. I spanked that booty nicely, and her mother caught it. Her mother understood why I did what I did.
Yeah, y'all won't be bringing my co-host up on no type of physical charges.
Yeah, I didn't hit her. I spanked that booty with my words nicely too, like I did in that Dear John letter.
Nice, nasty.
Yeah, that's what people call it, nice nasty. But her mother understood. So what I have a problem with is women being ugly to women. And I'm watching these little girls as they grow, and it starts very young. It starts very young. We'll be talking about that more later, but that's what we was talking about when we came on the air, y'all.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what we talking about.
So now that we done spanked the little kids behind and got them in line, who can we spank in the world? Because now it's so much going on.
Well, I know y'all want to talk about this submarine that imploded. I think it was coming out of Canada, huh?
I don't remember where it was coming out of, but when I heard about it, people was just like devastated, and I'm
Ooh.
like, what's the difference between that and any other atrocity that happens in the world?
So it was a submarine in the Atlantic Ocean. 5 people were inside the submarine. They were headed to view the wreckage of the Titanic.
But I can tell you who was on that voyage.
So the submarine imploded, y'all, within hours after it started to descend. So it's descending, and it's probably still trying to descend because, the ocean is deep.
Yeah,
I didn't know if y'all knew the ocean was deep.
very deep.
I had to say that. Make sure y'all know. Okay.
Yeah. So with that, like from my research about it, it was basically the people were paying a lot of money to go see this Titanic wreckage.
How
Uh,
much were they paying?
well, I heard it started in close to the amount of 250,000 and went up to millions of dollars. A couple of $1 million, depending on, I guess, who you were and what you really wanted to do and see or whatever. But it sounds like to me, sounds like a high price to pay for death. Very high.
Well, it said it only took a matter of it imploded imploded, which means inward.
Mm-hmm. Kind of like the Twin Towers. Yeah, that wasn't an explosion, man. That was
That went down.
yeah, it collapsed in on itself, which usually signifies demolition. So my thing is, if you understand uh how subs operate to some degree, a lot of people would disagree with me, you know what I'm saying, because I'm not a old Navy SEAL or anything, but this one thing I know. The further you go down into any body of water, as long as it's enough, it causes pressure to whatever you're in. And the further it goes down and down and down, you can think of it like this. It's like you crushing a can inside your hand. You know what I'm saying? Because the pressure is so great. That is why deep sea divers, when they come up, they just can't immediately hop out of the water because the pressure on the lungs and the body has to be decompressed and come back to its normal functionality. So my thing is, how far down was this sub? It couldn't have been down that far from what we have read. Couldn't have been down that far before this started to happen. So my thing is now by physics, by physics, the likelihood of the water pressure being that great is very slim. So now that tells me that it probably could be some type of foul play or some mechanical issue that happened with this sub.
So all of the systems are not, there's the systems of the machine are not supposed to shut down all at once. Like
Right.
they have the systems where one thing shuts down, then another thing shuts down, like that. They happen in sequence. But in this case, because of whatever investigations they've done, they know that the implosion happened because all the systems shut down at the same time.
That would suggest something that's foul play for real. Because like I said, normally you are right. It's sequence of events that happens, and then usually there's backups to kick in to keep everything running. But mm,
So at um all right, so they were going to see the Titanic. The remains of the Titanic are 20 at 1200, I'm sorry, 12,500 feet down. So the pressure would be 400 times
hmm
what you would feel at sea level,
hmm
which is of course far that we can, more than we can handle as in
right.
our human bodies. Okay, so they don't, they're not really sure. We're thinking it was at, so far we know it was at least 1,200, I mean 12,500 feet down, because that's where they were going.
hmm
But this implosion started happening as they started diving.
hmm
That's why they didn't make it, y'all. I'm just I'm just saying they didn't make it.
So I heard that I don't know if he was a millionaire or a billionaire, but I heard that his son, somebody told his son about this, and one of their sons were actually found going to a rock concert when all this was going. This was some of the stuff that was a buzz on social media, and they was just basically bagging on him, saying that he was wrong for doing that because your dad just died and he's going to a rock concert. This is my thing. Everybody deals with grief differently. I mean, once a person is lost, the mind can go into different places and you think about, do I want to sit around and think about what has just happened and I have no control to fix it or change it? And maybe that was his point in just saying, hey, I want to just not think about it, you know? So,
Well, so the five people who were on the sub were a British businessman named Hamish Harding, a Pakistani British businessman named Shahzada Dawood, and his son, his teenage son. So that's three right there. Then Suleimani, Suleiman, uh, who happens to be a French explorer. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Let me start over. Hamish Harding, the British businessman, and then the British Pakistani businessman Shahzada Dawood and his teenage son Salman. So Salman, Shahzada, and Hamish. Okay. Then a French explorer named Paul Henri Nargillo. And then Stockton Rush, who is the CEO of Ocean Gate. Now, Ocean Gate is the company that offered
The service.
mhm.
Well, in any case, I want to say that this is sad and that this has happened. Uh, but I got a kind of sick sense of humor about things like this. And I'm gonna say, you notice, with no black people on that ship.
Y'all knew he was going there, right? Y'all already knew he was gonna say that.
And it ain't the fact that they don't have the money. We just ain't interested in what's in the bottom of the ocean. Not even the bottom. We ain't interested in seeing the Titanic. See, this is the thing y'all gotta understand. All black people don't not care for water. So I mean, so if you know the history, all black people
Say that again.
all black people is not that they don't care for water. Meaning like it's some black people that likes the water, some that
Because
don't.
my little cousin can swim like a fish. He's
and,
Olympic. He's
and
Olympic.
and that's what I'm saying. But the stigma is black people we don't do water for the most part. That's the stigma. Not
Oh,
saying it is true,
oh,
but
okay.
yeah, not saying it is true. But
Yeah, I'm a big girl and I can swim. Don't get me out there in
yeah,
the ocean.
I
I
can
can keep
swim too.
myself afloat.
I learned to swim the hard way. Shoot, I fell into the Missouri River because somebody wanted to stand up in the canoe. And when I made it back to camp, I had to beat the guy up for standing up in the canoe. And then after that, I went down to the swimming pool and jumped in the deep water and learned to swim. So that was a nice swimming lesson. Hard way to learn it,
Whoa.
but yeah, we got over
Yeah.
that. So all I'm saying is like we came over here on ships. We really don't care about going to see him.
No, did he make yeah, I'm sorry. Nah, you know what? I'm not gonna be sorry because I said the P word earlier in the show. That's okay. Go ahead.
I mean, I'm just saying. So some things that we just ain't interested in doing. We don't want to relive some of those moments. Because you think about like all the people who they threw overboard because they kept them in humane uh conditions of travel, and most of them was on boats coming over here. So we ain't tripping with the Titanic. They can't. And listen, in the depiction of the movie Titanic, and I know I'm gonna say his name wrong, Leonardo DiCaprio. Um, how many black people did you see?
You know what? I'm pretty sure there was some black people on the Titanic because
I didn't say
They had servants.
I didn't say there wasn't none, but think about the time.
They the ones that was drowning because they
But
couldn't get on the lifeboat.
think about the time. That was a depiction of that era where it was still slavery and all that other horrible stuff. So I mean, you think about it, they really didn't have too many choices. We ain't just gonna volunteer just like, you know what, I just want to go see the Titanic and not the movie. I just want to go down in the ocean. And then We ain't gonna spend $250,000 to $1 million to pay for a ticket to go.
There were three people of African ancestry on the Titanic.
Okay.
One was Jean-Philippe
That's French.
Laroche,
That's French.
La Mercier Laroche. He was Haitian. He was an engineer. Okay. That's one. He was an engineer. He was on the Titanic. There was a Black woman who did not drown. No, well, let me see. I'm fact checking. Y'all.
I mean, that's like I
Her
said.
name was Melinda Borden. And she did drown. I'm sorry, she did drown because the lifeboats were only for white women and children.
All I'm saying, that
She
ain't something
was
we do.
working on the Titanic, like I said.
I'm not saying it wasn't nothing on her. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that ain't what we do. We just ain't better just be like, I'm just gonna go get on this ship and go get on this boat. You know what I'm saying? You're like, that ain't something we do. When you talk about stuff like exploring, like you got people that get on cruise ships all day long now. Times are different. But then back there, sometimes you was forced to get on ships for whatever reason. That's all I'm saying. Do you got any aspirations to go see what's in the ocean? Beyond the point of light? Because we all know that there's three levels of the ocean. So I mean, do you have any do you want to go deep sea diving and find out what's down there?
Actually, I do.
Well, go ahead then.
It's on my bucket list.
Well, go ahead. No, I'm telling you. I'm telling you now. You've been talking about that white robe lately.
But I gotta get killed.
That's voluntarily right there, you know what I'm saying? You go down there, I don't know. You might have a dingy robe when you make it out. Might not be white.
Okay, so they got a man in Ohio, just outside of Cincinnati. Listen, y'all, he lined up his three sons. This man, Chad Dorman, age 32, charged with 3 counts of aggravated murder. Okay. 3 sons, ages 3, 4, and 7. He lined them up outside and shot them execution style. That's like standing in the firing squad, right?
That's exactly what it is.
He shot his wife in the hand. She got rushed to the hospital. Police had to go to the hospital to tell her sons died on the scene. The only person that survived was the daughter. She was running around outside, stopping people saying, "My dad is trying to kill people. My dad is trying to kill my family." So there were 2 911 calls. One from the wife, one from the mama, and one from a passerby who stopped because the daughter was like, "Please, please, please help me. My dad is trying to kill my family."
Well, that reminds me of the movie. I think it was done in Connecticut. Don't hold me to that, but I know it was upstate somewhere. And no movie, Amityville Horror. You know, when the husband was supposed to be possessed by the house for whatever reason, and he went in everybody's bedroom and either shot them or I think stabbed them. I'm not clear on those, but I remember everybody in that house died. And I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 kids and the wife at that time, which is actually a true story, you know. So, um,
Well, so apparently he planned this out, but he was standing up in his what do you call it? Is was it an arraignment
hmm
with a green bulletproof vest on, and he was crying. But he
yeah,
planned.
it's like how
They
many
still don't
times?
know why he did. Like
I'm just in shock of some of the small details.
it was a rifle, y'all. I didn't take it wasn't a handgun. It was a rifle.
He was a hunter. He
Go
was
on,
just,
ask your question.
I mean, he was just hunting the wrong thing at the time.
Go on, make your
I,
statement. I ask you a question.
I was just trying to say, like, it little details like standing up in a rain with a bulletproof vest on. When some of us go to court, we don't get a bulletproof vest.
Listen, one of the boys escaped into the nearby woods, and the man hunted him down, drug him back to the property.
I thought he was a hunter. He must have had a stressful job for you to just come home and execute your kids.
He confessed to planning and carrying out the deaths for several months. He planned it for several months. He got a $20 million bond, y'all.
I mean, you have to really be disappointed in your kids to shoot and kill them
To plan it for several months.
and then execute it. Yeah.
Yeah. But they still don't know. But they still don't know the why. Like he confessed, but he didn't give the why.
He he gonna have a hard way to go in the penitentiary.
Yeah. Yeah, they okay, let me tell you about this right here. So in 2019, I don't know how we missed this. Well, we was just starting the show in 2019. We was just planning the show in 2019. No, have we even met? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but when we started playing that shoot, the first jump off show was talking about R. Kelly because he stayed in the news so much.
I thought it was Bill Cosby.
It was him
Him,
too. We
Bill
was
got
talking,
parole.
yeah, we was running both of them parallel.
Okay, so anyway, this happened like when we was first popping off Insane Rhetoric. So that's why we probably missed it. But listen, these two men chased the mail lady down, the mail carrier down. She left a note. She left one of those little notes in the box that's saying that, you got
We
a
missed you.
package. We
Yeah, we
missed
missed
you,
you.
right? Look, they chased her down, and one of them shot her 20 times.
With our favorite assault rifle, an AR-15.
20 times. The other one, he just helped him find her. So they was in cahoots together trying to find her because she didn't deliver the package. What was inside the package was
Green grass, green
2 pound.
pasture.
It was a 2 pound bag of marijuana from California that he was expecting.
I said green grass.
He
Yeah,
confronted her. He was demanding the package, and she refused. Now, I'm guessing why she refused is because she had already left the note. Because there's no way that she would have known what was in it.
Unless you smelled it.
Or unless he said, give me that package, it was weed. So at that point, being a federal worker, she can't just hand over the weed.
So, okay.
So, okay, you're going to ask your question or make your comment?
I already know who these are.
Okay. Okay.
AR-15 package delivery shot. These are black people. No, I'm sorry. These are niggas. These are niggas. Ignorant folks.
Okay.
These are niggas.
Y'all listen. So I'm guessing, and looks can be deceiving, but I'm guessing that, and this happened. Oh, I forgot to tell y'all where we were. We in Columbia, South Carolina.
Yeah.
He's 25 years old.
Gone.
And so they just recently, this happened in 2019. So this year, they just recently found him guilty of murder. She was 64-year-old Irene Presley. Okay. He's 25. So I'm sure he's shouting, give me my weed, give me my weed. But we talked about millennials at the top of the show and these Gen Xers and all of that. Sometimes they don't know how not to say certain things. And they think when you don't say certain things, that it's a problem. This is what I'm talking about. See, we back to this. This is what I'm talking about. A baby boomer on most occasions, not all, because some baby boomers, but on most occasions, we know when not to say something. So he probably ran up there, give my weed. Just my weed. You better give my weed. Now you done told a federal officer that you got weed in her truck and she can't get that to you because it's weed. You can't think and connect the dots that she done left a note for you. Just go pick that motherfucker up and get in trouble anyway, because now she got to go back and report that it was weed.
Instead of you just keeping your mouth closed, letting it go back and picking up your package without having to say anything.
Because it may, right, just go pick the package up. Don't go hunt nobody down, because you still not gonna get it now. Because even if you didn't shoot her, she got to go back to the post office and say, this is weed.
Yeah.
So
see, this is what happened after the Reagan era. I'm just saying, what did Reagan do? Declare war on drugs. Who did he target? Inner city youth. What did they do? Flood the community with drugs. Just like the Black Panther Party, when that was going on. What was that? Who was that at the time? Who was Hoover with the FBI? Infiltrate these different organizations that were only black. And let me tell you and be real clear and transparent. White people move more drugs than a black person or a ignorant person could ever move, because they don't have those type of connections where they can actually bypass customs, bring it into the port, fly planes, and float boats. So if you want to know really who's bringing in the drugs, it ain't never been black people on that type of level. There have been people in history that have been black that stood out and did that maybe in their lifetime a couple of times, but not many.
So here's my question. Because in my day, they had a saying, you're opening up a can of worms.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they had a saying too, you open up a can of kick it, a whoop ass, but
Mm-hmm.
you open up a can of worms. Because now my question is, did they go get the person who put it in the mail? Like, we haven't heard that story yet, because who sent it? Because that's supposed to be a felony
Mm-hmm. Automatic.
to, and in that trafficking too, because that's transportation of
And the fact that they was in North Carolina
South
and
Carolina.
South Carolina, coming from California, you pass different state borders, which means that in every state that you came across, you can be prosecuted.
So are we getting that person for racketeering, for sale of drugs across county lines, state lines? Like, all of that is in my head now, which we're not talking about that. We're only talking about this young black male we putting in jail because he killed Miss Irene Presley. She was 64 at the time.
Man, I see. This is where I don't care. I don't care that he's black at this time because it was stupid.
It's senseless.
You murdered somebody.
When all you had to do was go pick up your mail.
Yeah. So
What, you don't have an ID? Is that what it is? Like, why couldn't you just go pick up your mail? You want it, see this again, we back to the different. I want what I want right now.
Probably because the house he was staying in was his mama house, and he didn't have no ID to that address or whatever the case may be, and he couldn't have claimed the package.
But this is what it continues to perpetuate, because yesterday, little girl, first grade, she did her little sign. When they do this, they mean they want water. Can I go get some water? Okay. This is restroom. This is water. Okay. So the teacher's teaching. Now the teacher don't like for them to leave while she's giving the instruction and teaching what they're getting ready to learn and what they're gonna have to do, right? She asked them if they can hold it a few minutes so she can get through the lesson. So the little girl came up to me. She wanted to go fill her water bottle. Now, she in the first grade. Okay, I get it. Attention span. Okay, got it. But she's supposed to be paying attention to the teacher, not trying to go fill her water bottle. So I say, hey, give me the water bottle. I'm gonna go fill it up. You need to sit there and listen to the teacher. I'll go fill it up. Just give it to me. The little girl goes and sits back down. When she sees that I'm not watching her anymore, by this time the teacher has moved from one side to the other. The little girl never gave me the water bottle. The teacher has moved from one side of the classroom to the other. Again, all of this teaching is pertinent to what they're getting ready to do, right? She goes to the teacher and asks, can she fill up her water bottle? I don't have a problem in you doing what you need to do when you want to do it, right? Like, I don't really have a problem with that. What I have a problem with is you done missed all this education because you can't do nothing but think about a water bottle, because you got to have a water bottle right now. And you didn't drink the water. You just filled the water bottle up and put it back in your backpack.
Maybe she just didn't like what the teachers was giving the instruction on.
Now, don't get me started on that today. That's a different class. I mean, a different show. We're not going to talk about the teacher and her teaching style and all of that today.
I remember when I was in class, I did things to get out of class because I didn't like what they was talking about. And then But the point of it was when they was talking about it, it was things that I basically already knew. So I
This
think
little girl don't already know. No,
no,
I'm telling you.
I'm just talking about me. You know, I'm just
Okay.
talking about me. I was just saying. So
Me too.
I'm like, I don't. There's
But see, we coming from different age groups because me too. If I was itching to get out of class, it was because I already got that teacher. You teaching this too many times.
mm-hmm,
Okay. And I'm bored.
mm-hmm, absolutely.
And so mine manifested in me talking while she was teaching because I'm probably talking over her or whatever because I'm bored. I got that.
I just went to sleep, put my head down, and just went to sleep.
So this little baby, I'm telling you, is we bringing this on down. We bring this on down throughout. I gotta have what I want right this minute. I can't be bothered with going to get it at the post office. Now, my age group, I might be annoyed that I got to go get it at the post office, but that's expelling too much energy to try to go run the person down, figure out where on what street they are, and argue with them about giving me my package, which though back in my day, you knew the people. Here we go back to the Sesame Street. You knew the people in your neighborhood, the people that you meet when you walking down the street each day. So if I went outside and said, hey, and the truck is, in the next block, and I say, and I can see it in the next block. So I walk to the next block and I say, hey, you just left this package. Any way I could get this today? Back in them days,
They'll give it to you.
they'd give it to you.
Yeah.
So he could have probably got it until he said it was some weed up in there. Yeah, I said it like that, up and down.
I don't know. I don't want to get this no more. All right, what's going on with Putin?
Well, okay.
Because I'm tired of talking about the niggas in the weed package that killed the
Well, he
poor
got a
lady.
life sentence. He got a life sentence.
I'm sure he did. That was obvious. You killed a federal post office worker. Hence the word fed. If you bother a person's mailbox, that's felony. So you didn't think if you was gonna kill a federal worker that you was gonna be charged like that? Oh,
But they don't care. See, this
nah,
is the part
they don't. But I mean, like I said, Reagan era. Mm, I care to live my life and be left alone.
They are lit. That's
When
what they want too.
when they talking crazy and garbage, I don't want to hear it. I don't want to be bothered.
So, um, so Putin is accusing the Wagner group of treasonous military uprising.
He ain't got no reason to say nothing about no treason nowhere to anybody ever. No reason does he have. I'm just saying.
So, and Putin's chef is part of the Wagner group.
I guess he's gonna be looking for a new job.
So it's a potential. Y'all, let's just keep looking to see if it's the coup gonna happen.
I was just surprised. Ain't nobody poisoned this dude yet. Ain't nobody took a shot at him yet. Nothing.
Look, this is what Zelensky said over there in Ukraine.
Mm-hmm.
He said Russia's weakness is obvious, a full-scale weakness. And the longer Russia keeps its troops and mercenaries on our land, the more chaos, pain, and problems it will create for itself. Ukraine is able to protect Europe from the spread of Russian evil.
I mean, I have to give it to Zelensky that he has been steadfast through all of this and working his system. I mean, and Putin thought he was just gonna come in there and just run over that dude and just bulldog him, and just pounce on him. That has not been the case at all. They have been giving Russia the business. And the only reason that they Russia won't started all this was first for the land, to expand.
Mhm,
Secondly, it's because Ukraine won't act Russian.
mhm. So it's like a cycle. It's like a cycle all across the world, right? It's a cycle all across the world. This is about some land, a land line that was drawn in 1991. Putin has reached back to 1991, still mad because they lost their land.
Well, I think that being true, but I think he actually wants to go back to what was it called? The Iron Curtain situation. Russia being one big country and not broken up like it is. And that's for a point of world domination. That's what Adolf Hitler was trying to do, in one facet. And then on the other facet, he was trying to make a pure white race and all this stuff. So, man,
So
look,
what the Republicans doing with all of this changing of the rules, or changing of the laws and education and all of that? What they doing? Taking it back to 1927.
well, we
Jim
already know
Crow,
what.
taking it back to taking it back to Jim Crow
Yeah,
America.
that, and you just said it. You know what I'm saying? They want people to be enslaved. They want people to be in indentured service to them. They want people to serve them just like it used to be. But I'm gonna tell you, like right now, good luck, because the people that you have in these generations ain't going for that. They're not going to yield to that. And like we was talking about on the last episode, we was talking about who is the majority and the minority now. And it ain't that ain't the way of the world and thinking. I'm interested in know how large is the KKK now. You know what I'm saying? Because that's one thing I would be interested in knowing. Because my thing is, have their numbers failed or have their numbers grown? You know,
I'm guessing they've grown.
I mean, not necessarily. They
Because
could be.
are we gonna actually have the right numbers for that?
No, and that's what I'm
Because
saying. Because we
some
was
people
talking,
still are not gonna identify with that.
right, and then we was talking about how you can fluff numbers. So I mean, just because you say it and you pay a certain amount of money, you say this. This is how large this is. You know what I'm saying? So, but my thing is, man, these people ain't going for that. And this is the thing that bothers me. Thing that bothers me is we are teetering on a revolutionary war. There has been no no wars fought on the United States soil except for the first Revolutionary War. But you have so many different uh ethnicities, races, creeds, kindreds, tongues of people that are in the United States, and all of them are at each other's throat. That's the thing that is bothering me. And it's just a point, and when is it just going to go? Because like I say, Hollywood puts movies on screens and knows what's happening. One of the movies back in the day was Enemy of the State with Will Smith. And I was telling somebody the stuff that they was doing back there is showing that technology that was over 40 years old. That technology been around for forever. And then another one would be what was that movie? The Purge, where you got a 24-hour clock to get rid of anybody that you want to get rid of, and there are no consequences. Those type of things are precursors to what you are seeing now. You know what I'm saying? And you know, like we know for years, government has been doing subliminal messaging through radio and television for years, programming people. The things that you would not never go against as your values slowly start to seep away till you just become a whole different other type of individual. So, I mean, mm, but I think I can tell you this, when it happens, it's going to be very detrimental. And then, like, you just think about all the different terrorist groups that you have. Because where I'm at, they just instituted a boil water policy.
Well, we've been seeing those across the country over the
And
last six,
that's what
seven,
I'm
eight
saying.
months.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So now it is here where I'm located. And then you just think about, you know, how easy it is to contaminate certain elements that you need to survive, to get people to uh fall on their knees and get in line. You know, I mean, one thing, uh, and like I ain't no medical expert, so let me clear that up. But things that you do, like our last epidemic, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, COVID, instituted in a lab to do whatever you wanted to do, be it a bioweapon or whatever, to keep down numbers of certain type of people or whatever the case may be. You know, is biological warfare. I mean, so I don't put nothing past nobody when it comes to stuff like this.
Yeah. Take us out of here, co-host.
Oh, well, you can check out the podcast on any platform. And I'm gonna just say that just remember to enjoy the ride that is Insane Rhetoric. And we out of here. Y'all have a good day.
Bye,
Try not
y'all.
try not to shoot nobody.